The Ukulele Review Podcast.
This is called Hawaiian Style.
Go ahead. Hawaiian style, the way we live. From our hearts, we choose to give. A simple life where strangers kiss. Share what we have to coexist. You can feel, hear, smell the ocean. Sound good, guys? See the sun set slowly like a hula motion. Feel love in every smile. Open arms on every aisle. That's Hawaiian, that's Hawaiian style.
Hawaiian style, pure and free. Now we greet each day with humility, and Hawaiian man, I'm here to stay. Kupuna raised the Hawaiian way. You can feel, hear, and taste the ocean, and see the sun set slowly like a hula motion. Real love in every smile. Open arms on every aisle. That's Hawaiian. That's Hawaiian style. On the kuwa by my side. Keakua, be my guide. Real love in every smile. Open arms on every aisle. That's Hawaiian. That's Hawaiian style. Whoa, that's Hawaiian. That's Hawaiian style.
Sweet.
All right.
Ron and Zanuck just released a new album. It's awesome. Great job, guys. And Zanuck, did you write most of those songs?
We both shared the writing,
Together.
and we've collaborated on a few tunes, about three songs, but we split the rest. And one song is written by our uncle, who's passed away, who was the inspiration for the whole project.
Who is that?
His name is Kalani Flores.
Mm.
It was his idea to get the musicians in the family together to record something for the rest of the ohana. And we started with him, but then he passed away. So Ron and I, over a couple of years' time, finished it off.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you did that on the island here? or over
went
on
back
Maui?
and forth.
Oh, both.
Mainly Ron coming over to Oahu. Yeah.
And I know you guys both play ukulele and guitar, so I guess it's all mixed up on the album, and
It is.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the album's name is Koko,
Yes.
Koko,
Yes.
and is it on iTunes yet? It's brand new,
It's
right?
on iTunes. It's been out since November.
Okay.
Of 2016.
So from YouTube, we'll put a link
Okay,
in the
great.
description below.
Yeah,
You guys,
it's on all of those things: iTunes, CD Baby, Spotify.
nice.
Yeah.
Spotify is a great way to take a listen to stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so it's great to hear new original Hawaiian style music coming out, and we really appreciate that. And are you guys gigging much? Can people find you on the island?
When we can, living on different islands is a challenge, but we fly over, and when he's here, we're doing stuff like this and a gig or two, and then I do the same. I go over to Maui, so we're building our followings
Nice.
concurrently.
And Ron, you play with Hoppus still, or
Yeah. I'm
Barry
with
Flanagan?
Yeah.
Nice.
and that's Hapa music, Coco music. They kind of just float together.
Music.
Yeah,
Music
just
is music.
play. Yeah.
Awesome. And Zanuck's been doing studio work for years here. You played with Kalapana back in the days and all kinds of different jazz stuff you got going on, projects with all kinds of people. But lately, you've actually been here and there traveling around and doing clinics
Yes.
for people looking to grow their skills in ukulele.
Yeah, I've been partnering with Kimo Hussey, the ambassador of ukulele in the world. He travels a lot. I mean, he's all over the place. But whenever I can, I'll connect with him, and we've been to all over the United States, Australia. I've yet to go to Asia with him, but I enjoy teaching. Yeah, and so I teach privately now. And I like coming over here and sharing whatever ideas we have.
Definitely. We always appreciate that. Well, let's check out a tune.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. It's called I'm Ready. 1, 2. I'm ready now that you're in my life. I can put away my fears about tomorrow. I know your love is true, so I give my heart to you. Yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready, no matter where the road might lead. As long as I can feel you here beside me. So let the heavens fall, I won't care at all, because I'm ready.
I'm ready to let my soul break through. After all the years, I'm not afraid to start again with you. And sometimes I may stumble along the way, but I can finally say goodbye to yesterday.
If you're ready, won't you take my hand and promise that we'll always be together? Please whisper now as we take this vow. I'm ready.
I'm ready to let my soul break through. After all the years, I'm not afraid to start again with you. And sometimes I may stumble along the way, but I can finally say goodbye to yesterday.
If you're ready, won't you take my hand and promise that we'll always be together? Please whisper now as we take this vow. I'm ready.
Please whisper now as we take our vow. I'm ready.
Oh, wedding song.
The ukulele song is nice.
I just wanted to talk about playing ukulele parts other than just strumming. Now, I know a lot of beginner groups start with kanikapila playing, and that's about 50 ukulele players playing together. And the question I get most of the time when I'm teaching is, well, is there more than just playing a strumming thing? And I go, oh, yeah. Eventually, you'll want to break away from just the up-down pattern and start to develop maybe more independent fingering. And a simple way to do that is just to just take an individual string and put a finger on it. So I'll use these 4 fingers, and I'll just place them on each string and grab a simple chord, like a C chord. That's easy. Or you don't really even have to hold one, but a C chord would be simple, and just practice playing each individual string with a different finger. So I would use thumb, index, middle, ring. Once again, thumb on the low string, index on the second, middle on the third, and ring on the fourth. And just get used to playing in time. So if you have a metronome, set it to a very slow, sensible tempo, and just do this very methodically, very diligently. And then after a while, you won't have to think about it. You can even practice singing a song and just let this go on autopilot. You can mix up the combinations. You don't have to always go in this descending direction. You can take the lowest string and then the highest string and then the second lowest string and the other one. So the combinations are infinite. And it's a really pretty alternative to strumming. Nothing wrong with strumming, it's just that dynamically you can hear the sensitivity of playing in this manner. So I use that, I said Hawaiian style, I use that in the ballad, which is another one of our original songs on the CD called I'm Ready. So we'll play a little bit of the intro. And you can hear, instead of me strumming the chords, I'm just going to finger pick them, okay? Right on the top, all the chords. 3 and... Okay, now there's no set pattern that repeats. What I'm doing is just finding these notes by my intuition. I know that these notes are there under my fingers, so I'm just plucking the ones that I feel I want to play. So it's not a repetitive robotic thing. I'm just kind of playing off the music, which is the whole idea anyway. It's to be very organic in the way you play. So I know the chord progression. Sometimes I'll play a little fill like that. And I just did a little pull off right there. It's all these things that you can do that make your playing a little more expressive. So, and it's simple too. So start simply, harmonically. Just keep simple chords, C, F, G, things that you're all familiar with, and then play off of those. These simple pull-offs and hammer-ons are things that you can immediately apply to a simple song like this.
It spices it up a little bit.
Yeah. And a thing that I did in the middle of it was take a solo. That's another thing that beginning and maybe early intermediate players haven't tried yet, is improvisation. And I teach a lot of that in my workshops too. And the one thing I like to say about starting off is instead of learning all these scales, people are going to teach you, hello? Beginning ukulele players, they don't know that there's an option available to them to improvise. So I like to teach them that because it's fun to do, but they don't know the first thing about it. And usually they are overwhelmed with scales and all these patterns that are really complicated for them. And I don't encourage that. I want them to listen to a simple melody of a song and play that. And from that melody, then develop small, leaps away from it. So if I were playing in keys of C, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, that's what I would say for them to do, is to start just learning the melody and then embellish later. Little by little, breaking further and further away from the improvisation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sing the melody one time through, and then I'm going to play a solo. And I want you to hear the similarities between the solo and the actual melody of the song. Okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm ready, no matter where the road might lead. As long as I can feel you here beside me, let the heavens fall, I won't care at all, because I'm ready. Well, here's the solo. So, few glitches there, here and there, but the idea is I'm trying to follow the melody of the song, because those are the best notes to choose. Those are the notes that the composer decided, hey, this is what sounds the best to me. Most people start off in playing scales, and I can give you a bad example. I'm going to try. Play those chords again for me. Ready? This is just scale playing. 2, 3, and... sounds like a run-on sentence.
I can always
to me.
tell when somebody's just like playing scales when they're soloing. It just sounds so. I mean, you know, they're not even thinking that much about what they're.
No, there's
playing.
a lot of it is all. You know, the better players don't play that much. They usually focus more on the phrasing, and that means taking breaths in between their statements, just a little bit, pause, let the listener and the player reflect on what was just happened, and then use that as a springboard and develop more of the solo off of that little fragment. So that's hard to do because people get nervous and they want to fill every empty space. But really the trick and the maturity of it is to just let the idea sit for a little while, let it kind of percolate, and then more ideas will come because your mind is racing with thoughts. You just don't always have to put them down, you know, and play them in every gap that you get. So that's an idea about
it's kind of
soloing.
a good exercise too to find the melody that you're singing on your instrument. Just to, I mean, ear training and getting more
Absolutely.
familiar with those intervals in your mind and you know in your ear,
Yeah.
to recognize them and all that kind of stuff.
And with the advent of looping, where you can, you know, create a backing track to play over, it's the best thing to do because then you'll learn more tunes. Because say if you lost your voice, like my cousin over here who had laryngitis for the last couple of weeks, thank God bless he's singing today. Coming back. But you know, what do you do if you have gigs throughout the week? So you have to actually learn. You should learn how to play melodies of songs and then do them instrumentally. You know, even the simplest songs. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. But I just wanted to mention before we moved on that I'm going to put a link at the bottom too that goes to a video where you showed how to use looping in your playing that we had done before with you.
Oh, you want me to refer to that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll put a link at the video there so
great.
people can also check that out because looping is a super great tool when first dipping your foot into solos. You know, if you just do it with other people, you might get heckled or something.
Yeah. And
it's a challenge, you know. It takes a long time to get comfortable with.
Yeah. Well, it reveals your inner clock. If you're not steady on your time, then that means go back a little further and get on a metronome and work with that, you know, until you're ready. Because if you miss your re-entrance on a looper, your song, you just scrap everything you just did, you know. I was going to talk about parts.
Yeah, do it.
Ukulele parts. So going back to the idea of alternatives for strumming. So we were talking about finger picking. Also, there's coming up with a part that, you know, is a repetitive thing that people call hooks in songs, where you hear this alternate melody, you know, that's playing as the rest of the song is playing, and that's also singable too. And that's a good thing a good skill to develop is creating memorable parts. So one of the things that we did in the first song, Hawaiian Style, was just come up with a very simple part. It's the guitar part, if you can play that. Those are the chord changes. F, C, D minor, G, C. Okay, so in the recording studio, we're going, okay, that's cool. That's one layer of it. What do you do with the ukulele? Because we want this ukulele sound on it. So we just came up with something that basically shadowed that part. So I'm playing a C, 3, 4. What I'm playing right there are six intervals, you know, this distance. They imply, well, they do more than imply, they really do describe the chord that's being played with just 2 notes, especially when you're playing it against someone else's parts. And it's also not so thick where you're putting in too much harmony. You're just giving a little bit, so it sort of tickles the ear a little bit, and it reinforces the harmony of the song. So we start that way, and whenever that part comes up, as an interlude between verses and choruses, I stick that in there. So start of the song is 1, 2, 3, and C. Hawaiian style, the way we live. And so forth. And so what I'm doing now as an ukulele player, when I think about playing with another stringed instrument, especially someone who's going to play fuller, richer chords, a lot of local groups are playing with maybe 3 or 4 guitar players in the same group, and they're all doing identical things. And you don't want to do that because there's too much clutter going on in the same frequency range. So you want to find a part that stays away from that part, but also doesn't intrude on the vocalist. So you don't want to be playing parts that are way up here in the vocals range when the vocalist is singing. This is a complete distraction. So you got to know when to pick your spots. Usually play off of the vocalist, wait for the gaps, and find a little part. So you don't always have to constantly play. That's the best thing about it, leaving the space.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. That's another way to think. Now if you feel like playing the whole song, or you're the only instrument, you're the ukulele player, and you want to play Hawaiian style by yourself, that's great. Do it. But when you're playing with more people, the more you add, whatever it may be, guitars, bass, drums, be aware of your participation in the song, and not to clutter up the thing, just to find your place and sort of hover right in there. Yeah.
And finding those like little 2-note harmonies to do runs with in different keys might be a good thing to kind of look into.
Well, yeah. So C is a very accessible key, of course, in ukulele. So is F. A lot of things finger themselves well in those 2 keys, but I'm just picking C as the example. But sure, if we wanted to go to another key, you just modulate and. But now you're really having to be visual about this.
Up to D.
Up to D, and you can do it, in a lot of ways. You could take it that way, half step by half step, and figure it out that way. It depends on if you know a lot of music. If you have a background in music theory or something like that, it might be easier to think that way. But I think most ukulele players are just starting out and they're doing it for fun. So use whatever visual tools you can. I think that's the best way to explain it. And but definitely develop your ear. So we go back to the melody, playing the melody idea again. Yeah, because what you said, Andrew, was right. Learning about intervals, that's a really easy way to do it. Pick a simple song, Happy Birthday, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, You Are My Sunshine, basic ukulele songs like that. And just focus on trying to find the melody, even if you're going to do it on one string. That's okay. Whatever pulls it all together. You're using your ear, you're using your visual idea, and it's good to actually look at these notes that you're playing as well, so you know what the notes are. So you have G, C, E, and A, and when you start playing notes, figure out what your finger is pressing. This would be a D. This is a G. C, G, A, G, F, E, D, C. So there's all kinds of information online to look at ukulele fingerboards and things like that.
Sure.
If you don't know them offhand, or if you don't have a book. But that's another great thing to do, is start to learn the letter names of the fingerboard. That'll help. It'll all sort of come together. It's hard to there's no shortcut.
Right. But definitely the listening and finding the melody in a song being a good key starting point.
Absolutely. And simple songs, really basic songs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do Re Mi is a song,
And a scale.
And a scale. How handy, that's really great. It's great to do. And then transpose it, like you say. Well, okay, we did that in the key of C. Okay, well, let's take it up just a half step so it doesn't take it too far away from the last key center, and then just re-finger, because you're going to have to put your index finger down and create the temporary bar, right, as I call it. It's used to be this open nut, but now it's here. This is acting as that. And play the chord so that the key center resonates in your ear, and then so now you're doing the same thing in the key of D flat, and then you can move it up to D and E flat and all these keys that no one ever plays in. It's good. It's good. It's really about the ear training and learning the fingerboard.
Do you do Skype lessons too?
I have, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've done them, and I can do them, yeah.
So you guys can hit them up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or my email. Just email me at Zanuck Lindsey at Gmail. It's easy.
Awesome. Well, don't be a stranger, man.
Yeah,
Come
no,
regularly.
thank you guys,
once
man.
every few months if you can.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ron. You
welcome.
Come back.
Nice
you
to be
guys
here.
sound awesome.
Nice to be here.
Congratulations on the album. The album is Coco. Go to iTunes now and just buy it,
Yeah.
or head over to Spotify if you want to check it out first. Thank you guys so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Aloha.
All right.
Okay, see you next time. I'm dry mouth, man. I can't talk.